Hi guys, I'm Alex Webb and I've been doing this week's boxes at Source Supper Club. I just wanted to say a massive thank you for everyone for buying the boxes. It's been amazing support and sorry for the ones who've missed out. Hopefully we can get some ones done in the future. So I'm just going to run through all the dishes step by step, and hopefully you can kind of plate similar to how I'm plating up as well. Thank you. Alright guys, so the first step is the bread. So it's the soda bread with the seaweed and porcini butter. So the bread we're going to put in the oven at 180 degrees for about 5 minutes, just to get nice and hot and crispy. And then the butter here, I've just put it in a little pot next to it, so if you want to have a look, I've put it on the side just with some of the onion oil, just to make it look nice. So yeah, that's the first one, so enjoy. Alright guys, this is the next step, so this is the starter, which is the scallops. So I'm just going to run through the box with you to go through each little ingredient. So of course we start off with the scallops. So inside there we have the butternut squash, which has been pickled. So it's been lightly pickled, and then it's been sliced into the scallop. There was a lot of scallops to open, which was good fun. So it's already on there like that. So the first step really is to try and get them up to room temperature. So you don't want them really ice cold, and then just a little bit of seasoning on there, just on top. And olive oil, and just let that sit just for a few seconds or a few minutes, just so it comes up to the room temperature. I'm going to put it next to the stove, and then run through the next ingredients with you. So we've got the butternut squash puree, and we've got silver lids for the starters, so that's one in there, so that's going to be heated up. And then we have the parsley emulsion, which is almost a parsley mayonnaise. So we're going to put that in a little piping bag which goes cold, so don't heat this one up. And then the kind of little garnishes is we've got the pork rind, which is a crispy pork skin, and then as well we've got a onion oil, so which is on the scallops, and also we can put some on the chicken as well. So that's just kind of running through everything. Yeah. Alright, so to start cooking, we're going to get the scallops done first. So I'm going to get the pan on over here, nice hot heat. So you don't want to put the scallops into a cold pan. Just so it's nice and hot and it gets a nice golden colour. So turn the heat up to medium heat. Scallops held up to room temperature now. And we can, while that's going up to heat, we can get the butternut squash puree. So this is just for one portion, but you can have a bigger pan if you're doing it for 2 or 3. So just going to lightly heat it up. On the side. And then we're going to get the scallops going. So once the pan's hot, which it is, we're going to get some oil in there. We're going to get that hot as well. Right, so with the scallops, we're going to cook them now, and they've been at room temperature. So you want to make sure you're going to cook the bottom half of the scallop, which is the flat side, and the top side we're not really going to touch at this point. So I'm going to put them into the pan, and I'm going to show you. So the pan hot and smoking. Careful with your fingers, don't burn them. Okay guys, so I've added the butter to the scallops, and they've been into the oven for 1 to 2 minutes, depending on the size. So I'm going to put them on the tray cloth or a little damp cloth, just to drain off all the excess butter and oil. And then we're going to ready to plate up. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to plate up, and hopefully you can do a little bit similar. So I'm going to start plating up. So first of all, I'm taking my scallops into the middle of the plate with the butternut squash facing upwards. And then I'm going to take my butternut squash puree. Just a few nice dots. If you haven't got the piping bags or little bags, you can use the spoon straight from the pot. But this is just looks a bit nicer. If you're doing dots, you can do some big ones and small ones. And then I'm going to go on to the parsley emulsion. So we're going to go dots around the scallops. Again, some big ones and small ones. And for the garnishes, I'm going to go the pork skin, so it gives a bit more of a crispy texture. And you can use a spoon or you can just sprinkle it over. And to finish off, I'm taking some of the onion oil, and it's just a little drizzle really, just to go round. And it just looks Goes nicely with the parsley emulsion. And then I'm taking some of the red amaranth, just little baby herbs to garnish. And that's it. So I'll show you how it looks. So that's how it is. So hopefully you enjoyed this one, guys, and take some pictures and let me know. Okay guys, so hopefully you enjoyed the scallop dish. So we're going to go on to the chicken. So mine is the chicken breast with a crispy chicken crumb, a salt baked carrot, tarragon vinegar gel, a carrot puree, tarragon little salad, and then to finish off with a chicken jus. So first of all, you'll take your carrot will be in a little tin. So there's 2 in a tin, or so one is one portion. Then we've got the chicken, which is in a backpack bag. So it's been cooked to 64 degrees. For 45 minutes. So if it doesn't look cooked, it definitely is. That's why we're going to cook it, I'm going to show you. Next of all, we've got the chicken jus. So there's some fat on the top. Don't get rid of that, we're going to keep it in. So once it gets hot, we're going to mix it in. So that's kind of a really good flavour. So I'd get that on in a small pan, get it heating up. It will come out a bit like jelly. And make sure you get all of it in there. I'm going to get that on the back. And then the rest on the dish, we've got the carrot puree. So it'll come in a little tub like that. That's going to be hot. And then the tarragon vinegar gel is going to be cold, so don't heat that one up. If you want to with the pots, you can microwave them. If you don't want to, put them in the pans, but for me I just like to put them in the pans. And that's it really. So first of all, once the jus is heated up, so the first job is to take your chicken out of the bag. So it's a little bit messy, this job, so make sure you do it over a cloth or over the bin. So just going to snip the top off and let it drain out. There's thyme and garlic in there you don't want to eat, so make sure you take that out. And it's just getting all the juices out. So there's 1 garlic clove in each bag and some thyme, so don't eat that. So the first job with the chicken, once you take it out of the bag, is to get your pan on hot. So my pan is hot on the stove here. I'm going to add some oil. So obviously the chicken is already cooked, so we're going to get it in there just to get a nice golden colour. That's that job. While that's getting crispy, we're going to take the carrot puree and heat that up. So just put that in the pan. Once again, you can put it into the microwave if you think it's easier, or we can go straight from the pan. So you want to check the chicken, it's not burning, it's not too hot. You can take it off the heat sometimes and put it back on. I'm kind of looking for that golden colour there. I'm going to touch more. Next job, we get the carrots into the oven. So obviously already been cooked. I'm going to put a little dash of oil on the top. First of all, so it doesn't dry out, and second of all, it gives it a nice gloss and a shine. And you can put a little bit of seasoning on top of it, just to add the extra. And into the oven for a couple of minutes, just to make sure it's hot. Right, so this chicken is getting nice and crispy now. So we're going to turn it over, and that's the colour we're looking for, like that. Back onto the other side. And we're going to add the butter to that. Not too much. And that's just to foam it really and make it nice and crispy on the outside. While that's going on, we've got the chicken jus heated up. We've got the carrot puree heated up. And then we're almost there for plating up wise. So yeah. Alright, so I've taken the chicken and the carrot out of the oven. So they're nice and hot. So first of all, I'm going to carve the chicken breast. So there's 2 ways you can do it. If you don't want to waste any, you can not cut the ends off. But for me, just so it stands up nicely, I just really lightly trim off the end of the chicken, which you can eat, which is always nice to have a little nibble. And then slice down the middle. And flip over so it's nicely cooked. So that's going to go into the middle, and then we're ready to plate. So to go on top, we're going to have the chicken skin crumb. So we're going to put that on top of the middle of the breast, just like this. So it just goes on nicely and almost covers all of the chicken. So any excess is going onto the tray and not onto the plate. So that's the crumb done. So for plating up wise, we're going to, you can plate up how you like, but this is the way I like to do it separately. So the the carrot is on one side, and then we're going to take the chicken with the crumb on the top and put that next to it. So one breast is for one portion, so two of you will have two chicken breasts. So that's like that nicely, so it's almost like 3 lines. And then we're going to go on with the purees. So we got the carrot puree, so we're going to put dots on it. Again, you can put the pot in the microwave and use a spoon to go on. I'm going to use this piping bag. So we're basically putting dots on the top. So we want 3 nice big sized dots. You can have some coming off of the plate if you like. And then we're going to go on with the tarragon vinegar gel, which is really strong. So you don't want to go overly powdered, but just so it's nice. So I'll have to go 2 or 3 dots and a few little ones either side as well. And we're almost there. So we're going to have the tarragon salad. So we have some chives in there and we have some red chicory. That's basically just to go on top of the chicken. So you have 2 nice pieces of chicory. We've got some chive sticks. And then of course the tarragon. So we've got tarragon vinegar gel and a nice leaves of tarragon. So just to give it a nice bit of freshness to the dish, because the sauce is so rich. And then we're pretty much almost there, plating up wise. So we're going to build a nice salad on the top, so it almost covers everything. So almost there with the chicken. So that's the finished product. And then you can have a sauce at the table or sauce before. So I like to use some of the onion oil. So we're going to have some of the leftover onion oil. Haven't got any left. Just to pour it in the bottom of the jug for the sauce. I'm going to take the hot chicken chew. Just give it a stir before you mix anything, just because sometimes the fats they come to the top. So you want to put them very nice and hot. Don't want to reduce this too much as well, otherwise it's going to over reduce. So we're going to pour that in. And that's the finished dish. So hopefully you enjoyed this one, guys. And let me know, and then we can go on to the dessert one next. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with the peach dessert now. Hopefully you enjoyed your chicken course and you still feel up and ready to go. So first of all we're going to do the parfait. So if you've left the parfait out at room temperature, it should almost be ready to go now. I've got a spoon in hot water, so you can use it from the kettle. So the first job really is just to get a nice big spoon of the parfait. So this is enough for 4. Sorry, this is enough for 2. So we're just going to get some nice big spoons on there. So the hotter the spoon, the easier it is to mix up. You want to work quite quickly because it's going to start melting. Then we have the peach. So take your peach out of the container. So 1/2 of a peach is enough for one person. So you want to flip it to the one side like that. And I've kind of got that in the middle of the parfaits. And then we're going to go with the crumb. So it's mixed in together. So we've got the dehydrated raspberry and raspberry crumb. I'm going to go on top of the parfait, but you can go on top of the peach if you like. It's entirely up to you. So it just gives a bit of bite and a bit of texture really. So next I'm going to go with the raspberry gel. Again, this one's a cold gel, so don't heat this one up. You can put it in a piping bag or in a little spoon. So then again, we're just going to do dots all dotted around really. Just so each kind of mouthful you get a nice taste of it. So not too many. Then we've got the fresh raspberries. So this is enough for 2 in these pots. So more the merrier really. So we're just going to have them around, dotted around. We've got some lemon balm in there as well, a little bit of garnish. And then to finish off, we've got the Thai basil. So they're on the stalks, so you can just pick them off, really, just to keep fresher while we deliver them to you. And then it's quite an easy one to plate this one up. And then I've got some of the micro red amaranth from the course before, so you can use some of them as well if you like. If you haven't got any left over, no worries. And that's it really. We're ready to go. So let me know how you place up, and we'll go through next. So we'll just show you as well there. Alright guys, so we finished now the dessert, so we're almost finished with the box. So the last one left is the chocolate truffle with popping candy. So they're in here, so you can take them straight from there if you can't wait, or I'm just going to put them in a little dish next to it. Best to take them out as well, just to get them to room temperature, so they're not rock solid from the fridge. And that's it really, so that's how they are. Thank you so much for getting this box. This is my first box, so I really appreciate it, all the support. I really hope you enjoy it. Make sure you take some pictures, tag me in them on Instagram. And that's it really from my side. And then for the supper club, next week's supper club is sold out, or the next box. But the Valentine's box is still available online to buy, which is with Tom. So that's it really. Thank you so much, and hopefully again see me soon.